What's going on, everybody? GZTV. What's going on, YouTube? Your boy GZ. I'm live on Twitch. I'm AFK right now, but again, I'm gonna be live back in a little bit. I got Luca, I got Shaq. I'm grinding out XP. I'm gonna get to 131,000 XP, and hopefully the agendas will help me throughout the week. But that's besides the point. We're here to talk about college basketball. As we had the first of 2 days. Very excited for tomorrow. Illinois plays tomorrow. That's gonna be nice. We had our first of 2 days of the round of 32. Obviously, they split each round into 2 days, obviously, until the championship. So let's just get into all the games. There were some upsets today, and we're going to start with an upset here. North Carolina and Baylor. The Tar Heels survived ejection and a big rally, and they beat the 21 champ Baylor. So the streak of a team not winning back-to-back national championships since 2007 is continuing with this one. Great game for North Carolina. I know there was a big rally at the end, but they lost Manic. Caleb Love got ejected. You can't really blame the team too much after that. They played a great game. Bako had 15 and 16. You had Manic having 26. RJ freaking Davis is him. RJ Davis in place of Manic. In place of Manic getting ejected, he comes out and puts up 30. That's UNC's side. Talking about Baylor, Flagler had 27. He had a great game. Akinjo had 20. Mayer added 10 and off the bench. Sochan is a really good player. He's a little too light-skinned sometimes, but he put up 15 and 11. He's got that Kyle Kuzma vibe to him. I don't know. It's kind of funny. But congratulations to North Carolina, as you guys are a Sweet 16 team. I didn't expect to say this. Some people actually have you guys in the Sweet 16. It's not like an incredibly big upset. An 8-1 seat's not super big, but still, you guys pulled it off. Moving on to Creighton and Kansas. This is the 1-9 seed. That didn't end in an upset, but Martin and Kansas hold off the Creighton by 7 for another Sweet 16. Kansas continues to make Sweet 16s year in and year out. Are we really surprised? They're a great basketball program. But looking at the losing side, because Creighton was playing without their star big man, he might have transferred from a school or something. I'm not really sure. They have a couple really good guys from the transfer portal, and that's pretty much why they were in the tournament this year. But they had a really big dude that got hurt, so that's unfortunate. But even then, they played really well. Hawkins had 14, 24, and 12 for Kaluma. Kaluma is a dog. Honestly, he might have a future in the NBA. He's a really good basketball player. 14 for Alexander, 16 for O'Connell. 0 points off the bench. Is this glitched? I don't know what's going on here, but that looks kind of glitched. It's a weird looking box score. But for Kansas, 14 and 14 for Wilson. 13 for Christian Braun. Shout out to him. And Agbaji with 15. Agbaji's a big NBA hopeful. That'd be nice to see him make the league. 20 for Martin off the bench, though. Great game for Martin off the bench. Shout out to Kansas, Sweet 16 bound. Here we go, another upset alert. Michigan beating Tennessee. People were doubting at first if Michigan should even be in the tournament, and look at them now not destroying Tennessee, but beating Tennessee. And every time I watch Michigan play, I just think of that guy on TikTok, Adrian Nunez. Shout out to him. Michigan in the Sweet 16 again as Brooks puts away the balls late. But let's talk about Hunter Dickinson. A lot of people are saying he's not going to get drafted into the league, but I don't know, man. The draft stock recently, he obviously doesn't have the build that modern-day centers have, but he's just a big dude. I don't know. Diabate had 13, though. Dickinson had 27 and 11. Brooks had 23. Great game for Michigan. People should have known they're going to put up a fight in this tournament. Look at the conference they're in every single year. That's why they're such a good program, because they're put in this conference. But looking at Tennessee, we had Chandler putting up 19. Kennedy Chandler, he's going to have a great career. I think he's going to make the NBA. He's one of the draft hopefuls. James had 13. Chandler very emotional. And even through the underrated part about this is even through the Juwan Howard whole suspension thing, Michigan has maintained a great season. They're Sweet 16 bound, being a top 20 college in the nation. That's ridiculous. Looking at Richmond and Providence, a Cinderella story gets crushed. Is Richmond really a Cinderella story at this point? they've been one of the best upset teams in college basketball history. But anyways, Providence routes Richmond to get to their first Sweet 16 in 25 years. Yeah, this is some of the best Providence basketball we've seen. They have their best coach they've probably ever had. They have some of their best players they've had, maybe ever had in program history. I'm not sure, but looking at Richmond, not a great game for Richmond. I mean, they had 9 points off the bench. Kyo had 18. Golden had 10. Looking at the other side, Horschler, he's a pretty good player. I watched him. He's pretty nice. He had 16 and 14. That's a good stat line. 10 for Watson, 12 for A.J. Reeves. Durham had 13, and off the bench we had Bynum with 10. That's about it for that game. I don't have too much else to say. Let's move on to UCLA and St. Mary's. Man, St. Mary's is a tough team. And again, my friend has UCLA winning the tournament in some of his brackets, and that doesn't look very far-fetched. You're beating a really good St. Mary's. St. Mary's having one of their best seasons in program history. But UCLA is a very likable team. I like their coach. I like Johnny Juzang. I like Jaquez. I like Campbell. I like all those guys. I like Cody Riley. They have so many fun players to watch on their team. They're such a good unit. But good season for St. Mary's. Congrats on a great season on the WCC. I think that's where they're at. But looking at St. Mary's box score, you had Tass with 14, Dukas with 11, Johnson with 18, and 11 for Kusei. For UCLA, you had 15 for Jaquez, however, you had 14 for Johnny Juzang. Tiger Campbell put on 16, and Bernard with 14. Bernard's another really good player. But yeah, that's pretty much that game. Let's move on to, I know this is a little bit of a shorter stream, but obviously it's the round of 32, so there's only 8 games every night. Let's move on to St. Peter's Murray State. I was hoping the OVC could stay alive in this tournament, but St. Peter's, the ultimate Cinderella story in this tournament. St. Peter's is the 3rd 15th seed in Sweet 16 history, guys. Only the 3rd 15th seed to make the Sweet 16. They beat Murray State. Let me just say, Doug Edert is him. He's probably not going to make the NBA. He might be undrafted and make a team, but like his stock's definitely gaining some traction. Shout out to Nadefo, though. He had 17 and 10. That's a great stat line in college basketball. 13 for Edert. Again, like I said, Edert is that guy, pal. Looking at Murray State, I mean, Murray State definitely didn't play a bad game. You had Williams with 12, Hill with 19, Hannibal with 10, Brown with 14. I mean, not a bad game at all for the guys over at Murray State. Great season they had. They ended up being a 7th seed. That's huge for our conference. Representing us pretty well. I mean, you won a tournament game. That's awesome. But let's move on to New Mexico State and Arkansas. This game was very, very close. It was a pretty good game. Arkansas, recent program history, their basketball program has looked absolutely pristine to the max. Our Razorbacks returned to Sweet 16 with a 5-point win over the Aggies, but a great season for New Mexico State. They're definitely an under-the-radar college. They had a great season. They won a tournament game miraculously. Yeah. McCants had 16 and 12. Great game for him. 12 for Allen. Look at the other side for Arkansas. Williams, 10 and 15. Great game there. Note had 18. Again, not much else to say. Memphis Gonzaga was one of the better games of the day as well. Another really good game here. My goodness, they got some prospects, man. Shout out to Memphis. So they looked very dominant in the first round. Like, it was seeming like they could. It was definitely possible for them to beat Gonzaga this game. They were up 10 at half, and obviously they got outscored by 10. By 12 actually by Gonzaga in the second half, so that's kind of unfortunate. But Williams ended up having 14. Quinones had a 10, 13 for Harris off the bench. Gonzaga, incredible program. Let me just say, incredible fucking program. Like, obviously their comp isn't the best, but they're an incredible program. They play at this fast pace. It's absolutely incredible. Drew Timme, draft prospect. I don't think he's going to really do much in the NBA. I mean, you saw what Corey Kispert has been doing in the NBA. A couple 15-point games in his career. That's not terrible, I guess, but Drew Timme, 25 and 14, 17 for Bolton, 23 for Nembhard. Like, Chad Holmgren wasn't even that big of a part of this game, but, you have Bolton, Nembhard, and Timme as that big 3 for this game. But anyways, that's it. I got to return to my stream. Leave a like, comment, subscribe for all the sports content. It is GZTV. I'm out. I'm going to be grinding next